G'day, I'm Lachlan. Just up here, Mount Gravatt Lookout, and I've got to admit, just looking over the suburbs, it's pretty awe-inspiring and beautiful, don't you think? Can you believe, though, that Brisbane is less than 200 years old? It was only settled here in 1825, and look how much development's happened since then. So you might be wondering, why Brisbane? Well, the governor of Sydney at the time was Thomas Brisbane, and he asked John Oxley to come and check out the Moreton Bay area. So this is where it all began. As you can imagine, this area was prime bushland filled with native animals and the native indigenous, whose home it was for many, many centuries. So what did they find? They found an incredible river with rich soils and an abundance of trees. So it was decided that this would be a highly suitable location for another penal colony, and the clearing began. Initially, they cleared the land for agricultural purposes, but ultimately, this led to the open sprawl. When you hear about how dramatically man has changed the natural environment, it's great to finally find a place that's doing something about it. So great to be here, Wayne. I've heard so much about you guys. So I believe you guys are working to help regenerate the Bulimba Creek area?
Yeah, we've worked on Bulimba Creek since the late 1990s, and we also do other areas now. We've even been out of Brisbane to do works on contract sometimes, on grants, and just helping other groups. We've got a native nursery here. It's community run completely. It's got a very good community manager as a volunteer, and we also network with the community nursery network. There's around about 5 or 6 groups also do native plants and community run, and we swap and we do deals and find plants that are very hard to get, and we use them.
So at 7 a.m, the place seems to be all hustle bustle. Can you tell us a bit about what's going on?
Yeah, we're forming up our work teams to go into the field to do jobs like planting vegetation, erosion controls, riparian works, contract works with utilities and people like that. It could be working with a school, it could be working with a community group to help them on their sites. And we do seed collecting, and we do a lot of feral animal controls too, and nest boxing. So there's a little bit in it for the volunteers when they come out, and up to 3 teams can go out during the day, and they pack their vehicles, they get their water, and a lot of watering at this time of year too because of the dry conditions in Brisbane.
So Lee, can you tell us about the processes from the seed coming in to the seed then going out back into the bush again?
Most definitely, Lockie. The seed comes in from bush carers generally, or we may be able to draw upon our resources here in the grounds. Once the seed has been processed, it will then be registered, added to our database, our seed database, stored in the refrigeration here. And then as they're required, the seeds will be potted up into a seedling mix. This is a sterile mix. Now the seedling mix, for about 5 or 6 weeks while they're growing, they're come to about this sort of size, and then we can prick them out. We prick them out into a brew that is like this, which is a very, very nutrient-rich potting mix. And then we wait for the short period when they start to grow, and then when they're about this size or have developed a good root system, then they are eligible for returning back to bush revegetation areas.
So Mick, you brought us down to Tingalpa wetlands. It's one of your sites. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Well, wetlands are a vital part of the natural economy. Animals absolutely relying on having a supply of fresh water so that they can survive all year round. And why we're here today is because 20 years ago they wanted to fill this site and develop it as housing. And that would have deprived all the native animals of their only source of permanent water for at least a kilometre in any direction.
Absolutely, it's a great thing you're doing. So Mick, how have you gone about saving the area?
Well, once we were informed by local residents that the area was under threat, we door-knocked the surrounding suburbs and organised them into a campaign to lobby the City Council to protect this area as a natural wetland. We then organised bush care groups to come here and put the band-aids on the damage that had been done to the wetland. One of the ways we did that was to plant trees all around the edge of the wetland so as to repair the wetland and protect it. Some of the trees we planted would have started off in our nursery, like this tree here.
So Mick, this is really great, but have you seen a difference?
Well, we certainly have. We've been able to remove most of the the introduced hyacinth here. We've been able to seal the edge of the wetland, and we've had the number of bird species increase from 45 to 110 species of birds. And we've had 2 species of plant which haven't been seen for a century come back to the wetland.
So how important are the volunteers to your operation?
Well, volunteers are absolutely vital to what we do. They collect our seed, they propagate our plants, they water the plants, they maintain our equipment. Our vehicle fleet wouldn't operate without volunteers to help maintain it. We use them to help plant our trees. Without our volunteers, we'd be able to only do 1/10 of what we do now.
Wow, that's so impressive. So there you have it. We've had a massive impact on the environment since colonisation, and thank goodness for organisations such as B4C who are out there actively doing something about it.